Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about chapter 8 Ncert motion. So motion is the basic chapter of the IIT foundation and is a basic chapter, easiest chapter of the physics. So let's start this video. Before starting this video, I'm requesting you to please subscribe my channel for daily new and best videos of the physics. I love physics. If you want to love physics, if you think that physics is boring, then please subscribe to our channel, like this video and comment if you have any question. I will definitely solve this question on the comment box and will reply you. So let's start this video. When we talk about motion chapter, the basic foundation chapter of the IIT JEE and some more competitive exam, if you want to love physics, then you have to love this chapter. It is one of the easiest and prominent, significant, magnificent. You can say this chapter is awesome because it have simple question. And this chapter creamy layer part is the three equation of motion. From these three equation of motion to hardest theory of physics come from this three equation of motion. We will discuss this chapter motion in the three video series that cover the three equation of motion, acceleration, question related to graph solve, graph proof and graph related question of the physics. So let's start this first part. In this first part, we will understand about what is motion, what is position, what is rest, what is reference point, what are scalar and vector quantity. So we will today understand about introduction of this chapter. Not at all very hardest, but of the easiest chapter of the science, you can say. Today we will understand, not by simply not ratification, we have to understand it completely and we have to solve. If you want to solve hardest question of physics, then you have to solve from these three question of motion. You have to completely make it in your mind. Then we come to our distance and displacement. What is the difference between distance and displacement, speed and velocity? So let's start the first important motion. What is a motion? Motion is a state if an object changes position from rest. Means if an object which changes position with respect to time, if an object intend to change its position with respect to time, it is called motion. For example, you can see clearly on the image what is a bus moving on the road, a car moving on the road, we are running, we are jumping. That is also called motion, because if you change your position with respect to time, then it is called motion. So much clear we can see visually in the upper side of the video. Second is rest. If an object does not change its position with respect to time, with respect to surrounding, is called rest. If we are in a state like this, I am not changing my position with respect to time and surrounding, then I am in rest. Simple and logical, we can understand motion. We can see in our day-to-day life, daily life, and rest we can also say we are resting. So we are not changing our position, that it is a rest. What is a position? Position is also the point where we are lying in the surrounding with respect to others is called our position. Means it is a logically thing that a point where we are lying with respect to others, means others can see at what point I am lying, then it is called my position. So position is just a basic. Then we can say reference point. What is a reference point? A fixed point with respect to others and to the origin is called reference point. For example, I am here. Just for example, I am here and some other person can see me from this. So from here we can see a reference point. So it is very clear. Third is distance and displacement. After covering distance and before covering distance and displacement, let's talk about scalar quantity and the vector quantity. What are scalar quantity and what are the vector quantity? These two are more prominent and it is the foundation of the physics, these two concepts. The quantity which have only magnitude, is called a scalar quantity. In scalar quantity, we have only distance, means we have only magnitude, that a person is running at, at 550, he has run 50 kilometer. In what direction he has run, no mention, but he has run 50 kilometer. That is the scalar quantity. Vector quantity, the physical quantity with magnitude and direction. A person is running in west, he has distance 50 kilometer at west. This is called vector quantity. In vector quantity, we include direction with magnitude is called vector quantity. Simple definition: magnitude plus direction is equal to vector quantity. Direction only is not compulsory. Magnitude only is called scalar quantity. Ekdam means simple, realistic, clear. Then we come to distance and displacement. The distance traveled by an object, the distance, the total distance, the length, the path covered by an object in total time or with respect to time is called as distance. What is displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance between final point and initial point. This is called displacement. Difference between distance and displacement is also very important. The total path covered by an object is called distance. The shortest distance means it is the longest, it is the shortest. Displacement. Unit is meter, no mention. Then we come to distance and displacement mean. Distance is a scalar quantity, whereas displacement is a vector quantity. Simple. No, because displacement is in direction and distance is not, has not direction, it has only magnitude. Simple. Then we come to speed and velocity. What are speed and what are velocity? Bonus point is also given in the distance and displacement. You can say difference, that displacement is always smaller than the distance. A distance may be equal to displacement but is always greater than the displacement. Second thing is displacement can be zero. A displacement can be zero or smaller than or negative also, but a distance is cannot be zero, it couldn't be zero and cannot be in negative. Distance is always in positive, whereas displacement can be zero, can be on negative. Simple. Then we come to the point speed and velocity. So speed is nothing but the distance covered in per unit of time. The distance at per unit of time is called speed, and whereas velocity is displacement by the unit of time is called velocity. So velocity is originate from displacement and displacement is a vector quantity, so velocity is also a vector quantity. Simple realizing by understanding, just not any hard in these things understanding. Whereas in speed origin from distance, so distance is a scalar quantity. Simple, nothing. No thanks. So whereas come to average speed and average velocity, these two are understanding. These two cannot be understood by a simple realizing way. So we have to use our brain power also. Average speed is nothing but it's questions. It question means it illusions us in the numericals. Not understanding is very simple. The total distance covered by total time taken is called average speed, and average velocity is the total displacement by the total time taken is called average velocity. Velocity has two formulas: total displacement upon total time and v plus u upon 2. What is u and v? V denotes as final velocity and u denotes as initial velocity. Simple, nothing. Whereas average speed has its own formula: total distance upon total time. Then we come to the motion. We have understood about distance, displacement, speed, velocity. So what is used in the motion? So motion are of three types, for we understand completely clear this. So there are three types of motion. Linear motion. What is linear motion? When an object moving in a straight line is called linear motion. When an object moving in a straight line is called linear motion. Second is circulatory motion. Circulatory motion is that an object moving it is rotating in a circular path. It is called circulatory motion. Then third is oscillatory motion. What is oscillatory motion? Oscillatory motion is nothing but the vibrating from its mean position, means moving from mean position coming to the mean position is called oscillatory motion. The best example of oscillatory motion is pendulum clock. It is motion in oscillatory motion. The circular motion path is Just like, for example, if we are going in circle, we are motioning circle, and linear path means linear motion type is road. We are moving in the road in a straight line, then it is a linear motion, oscillatory motion, and circular motion. So these are three types of motion. Clear? Distance displacement, I hope you will also clear in that topic. We have to do numerical. So first I will make a numerical additional, means 3 plus 1, 4 videos on motion. So this was the introductory video. Second, in we cover acceleration, we will cover our numeric graph related proofs also. We will first understand the three questions of motion. In the third video, we graphically prove, and by numerically we also prove the three equations of motion. So in this video I will also tell you about uniform and non-uniform motion. So let's start this uniform motion and non-uniform motion. If an object is moving, means it is an object traveling equal distance at a per unit of time, means an object traveling equal distance in an equal time, simple, then it is in uniform motion. For example, let's take example, let's visualize it. If I cover 30 meter in 10 seconds, another 10 second 30 meter, another 10 second 30 meter, then I am in uniform motion. Another example of this is that if my bike is moving at 20 kilometer per hour in 10 seconds, at 20 kilometer per hour in 10 seconds, then I am in uniform motion. Second is non-uniform motion. What is a non-uniform motion? Non-uniform motion is when we cover unequal distance in equal time. Means, for example, if I cover 30 kilometer per hour in 1 hour, 20 kilometer in another 1 hour, then I am covering not equal distance in the a regular interval of time. So time is can said to be in physics time taken, regular interval time. With respect to time are languages of some physics. So we have not to misuse it, means delusion by it. So we have to understand that if an object travels unequal distance in an interval of time, then it is said to be in non-uniform motion. Let's completely understand it. So I hope you will understand about today's video's topic. So in another video we will cover acceleration also. Acceleration has its longest video because I will definitely prove the questions related to it. So thanks for giving this wonderful opportunity to tell you about the physics, and my physics is not a very awesome, but I like physics. My favorite subject is math and physics. So please tell your favorite subject in the comment box. Thank you very much. Like this video.